This is my gay point of view, episode 6. You can't do the clap too. Click, click. I definitely think that the LGBTQ community is progressing way further than minorities. I mean, listen, the gays got straight people wearing hoochie daddy shorts and got them thinking it's a style. You know how many men are walking around with their butt cheeks out? Hey, yo, fellas, matching crop tops coming soon. Also, the LGBTQ community marches way longer, okay? They won't stop. When they are going to party, they are going to march from New Jersey to California. They will do it the whole way, nonstop, just to get to the Abbey. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I don't know if you've seen Pose or Legendary, but any person that can do a duck walk or drop like that, they gonna get their rights heard.
Now see, now y'all gonna get me in my socio-political bag, because it depends on where you fall at in the LGBTQ spectrum. You know, and this is where I have conversations with black folks about them trying to make us choose between being black and gay. You can't choose because you're black first, and you have to deal with all of the different political challenges that we face as black people most of the time that we don't know about and that we are affected by, because they know for a lot of conservative communities, LGBTQ is a trigger. So for instance, there was a law that was on the ballot in Virginia and some other state that said gay couples cannot adopt children. And the politicians, they used that to emotionally manipulate the voters, because they knew in these conservative Bible Belt areas that people were going to come out and vote against that. What they did not say, and what the voters were not informed about, was that in the clause, it also said any families that are not married cannot adopt children. So that meant the way in black communities, most of the time grandma ends up raising the kids, then the government can take those children away from grandma and place them in foster care. And so it just goes to show how not only are we all affected by these sorts of injustices, but also how even if you are black and queer, you are doubly affected. I think if anything, white gay rights are progressing a lot more quickly, and definitely white trans rights.
Absolutely. The gays are road runners in the law department. Like, it's happening, and it's happening fast. It's happening faster than a lot of us can receive the information, because we learn new laws just like the rest of y'all. Yeah, they're definitely progressing way faster. Absolutely. Without question.
Yes, Chaunte. I think that gay people, the LGBTQ community, and minorities, I think we're all moving further away with our rights. And, you know, it's disgusting, and I think that we should all riot. Not in a violent way like in January 6th, but with tap dance and break dancing and just fucking up the traffic in the local towns. Something that Fox 5 would have to get called in for and say, what's going on? Is there a parade that's going on? Yes, and we're angry and we want our rights back. And we're just like you, you know, big, bold, beautiful, ugly, polka dot, all different colors and shapes and sizes, and everybody, you're a human being. You know what I mean? You should be who you are, just don't have a mullet.
Do I think minorities would be safer in the LGBT community than in just like their own community? Definitely. I mean, first off, there's more allies. You know what I mean? Hear me out. I mean, you got every culture that got somebody coming out the closet. You got, you know, you got them like, hey, I'm coming out the goddamn closet. You got, I am coming out of the closet. Este no más en de closeto. Forgive me, my Latin people. But I will say this is where white people won't betray you, because guess what? If they try to take away your rights, guess who's getting their rights taken away? Absolutely. We all go down.
I think the only way that you can benefit from being gay as a black person as if a white person adopts you. Go get a white boyfriend. Other than that, I think it is very important for us to educate ourselves as black people first, because that's what we're most impacted as. And so again, it is very important for black people and black gay people to understand how much further we have to go, you know, as a group and as a community, simply because we are 400 plus years behind in education. Education about economics, finances, the way the government works, the way the government is changing. And we got to start there.
Absolutely. We'll definitely be safer as a minority in the LGBTQ community. I remember back in the day, a woman once told me that I already had 3 strikes against me in the world. I was a woman, I was black, and I was gay. But now in 2022, honey, we winning. All 3. So before what was 3 strikes is now 3 checks. If you're just black, it's not as lit. If it's black and gay, oh baby, you winning.
I love actually being called a minority because I wanted financial aid when I went to college. So that's great. What was the question? I'm ready. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're rolling. I want to make sure you knew. Do I think that being gay is safer as a minority? You know, it depends. Maybe in, you know, Savannah, Georgia, or somewhere where they have a lot of Cracker Barrels, not so much. I think that, you know, if you wear the right sequin blazer, you could be hanging up like a scarecrow out on the local town. I think that it depends on all areas, and it's so scary. You know, in some ways it kind of feels like a superpower to be a minority and be like counted out, and you know what, I'm gonna prove you wrong. You know, you're gonna hate me not because I'm gay, but because I'm a bitch.
Have I or would I ever visit a country that is strict or do not allow gay rights? I actually have, and while they didn't say anything directly to me, I did read their guide before I got there, and it said, you can be gay, but keep that shit to yourself. So, yeah. I will say I do travel everywhere I go in a dress just to check the temperatures of how different states are gonna be. You know, I call it like my Clark Kent suit. You know, I want to make sure that I'm good, and when I get to the hotel, I just change back out to my Superman outfit.
I definitely have visited some countries that were anti-gay. That was fun. And then, get out of here, you faggot. Let's see, that was Martinique, St. Lucia, Barbados. Barbados is actually cool. As far as states in America that are against LGBT, those are the best places to be. That's where you find boyfriends who don't tell nobody. Yes.
Well, most of my life I grew up in Brooklyn, so I frequented the Village a lot. And then when I got outside of Brooklyn and outside of the Village, I realized that people at that time were not so accepting of my lifestyle. I can't think of any place in particular, but I will say that I have almost always felt weird holding hands in public, up until now. Holding hands in public with another female, because you just get looks anywhere. I don't care how gay the neighborhood is, somebody gonna look at you crazy, like it's not 2022.
I have visited a country that was strongly against gay rights, and it was actually at my family's home in Staten Island at Thanksgiving. And I was so scared. You know, but it's scary because I feel like in certain parts of the world that you go visit, like maybe, I don't have a globe in front of me, Bangladesh, I'm not really sure where, I think I was out sick that day in geography. But one of the countries that they're not as big on, you know, colors and fun. Oh, Czechoslovakia, is that where Russia, they don't like gay, they just like pierogies and shit like that. And a place like that, I'm sure it's very scary because, you know, if you're banging somebody in your Holiday Inn hotel room, you probably have to be very quiet. And if they hear people having sex and they're like, is that Barbra Streisand playing in the background? They're gonna know. And I imagine that would be quite scary.
The pros and cons with the LGBT, especially with transgenders, I think that's a little tougher sometimes because one, the pros are you get to be you get to be out, you get to be out and proud, you know, and that's something I always put out there. Be yourself, be happy, live your life the way you want to, as long as you ain't hurting anybody and you showing love to people and to yourself, most importantly. The cons, really, like, I feel like we're living in these like generational gaps, you know what I mean? Like older people, the ones that just hate it so much and that they just don't understand, they out here, they just don't care. So, you know, when you see these older people that hate in general, they threatening the president. You know what I'm saying? So you think if they not tough enough to do that and you come into the bathroom, there gonna be some shit that go down? We gotta be careful, that's all I'm saying. I want everybody to feel happy and good in their space.
This may not be a very popular thing to say out loud, but the fact that opinions like this generate so much outrage means it's a conversation to be had. And I believe that everybody deserves respect, but at the same time, I don't think we are far enough in the conversation to be able to just slap trans rights on everybody and expect them to accept it without there being some sort of backlash against the trans community. You know, the state of our country now, if you have an opinion of your own, which usually if you are somewhat of an educated thinker, you do run the risk of offending people because you got questions. And a lot of opinions are ignorant too, but I think that the fact that having legitimate questions and being shut down is a red flag for where we're at socially in our country. So for instance, I think that it is a problem that somebody whose voice is deeper than mine, who got bigger muscles than me, bigger ass, bigger dick, bigger everything, bigger feet, can go take a couple of estrogen pills and has been a loser at football or swimming or basketball all their life, and they can go take some estrogen pills and drink some soy milk and go beat the shit out of girls on a football field or a basketball court or in a swimming pool. That's bullshit. And we can do two things at one time. We can be pro-trans while at the same time ask, okay, biologically, how do you expect for people to feel placing somebody who still got a 9 o'clock shadow? And my aunt got a 9 o'clock shadow, but she's still a woman, but she don't got no muscles. They still men basically that you putting on the field. It ain't a popular opinion, but it's real. Like, they still men. Like, I get it. Mentally, psychologically, you may feel like a woman, but when you get on that basketball court, you a nigga. What people supposed to do with that? Yes, you deserve a right to live and be respected, but people aren't educated about us just as regular gay people. Like, we just got to a point where people are kind of half accepting us. And so if you are a trans person, particularly if you are one who one of these new age trans folks, because back in the day, they at least tried. You know, I was in Target about 2 weeks ago, and there was somebody who I saw a white man, a big dump truck driving ass white dude. And I was trying to get past him. Mind you, he was on the aisle with the men's deodorant and shit like that. And I'm trying to get past him, and I'm like, hey, excuse me, sir, I'm trying to get past you. I'm a woman. How was I supposed to know? And so if that is in Wyoming or if that is in Tennessee and you trying to go up in a bathroom with somebody's little girls, how do you expect people to respond? And then if you can't pause to understand that, but like, I am a gay person and I'm still working to fully grasp what the idea is about trans and non-binary identity, and me trusting my eyes, like how was I supposed to know? I saw a man put on some kitten heels or something, and then I go, oh, excuse me, sir, ma'am, whatever. You know, but this is where we at, and you know, you can't be mad at people just because people have questions and people don't understand does not make them transphobic. People got questions, and you should be able to answer them. You know, stop getting mad at people for having questions about you.
So the pros to this, of course, would be just acceptance. You know, being a trans is really hard. You know, it's having to live that lifestyle, and then what goes into transitioning, they got it hard enough. Let them pee. Just let them pee. I don't see where there would be a con. I understand what people have said, like if it's someone of a certain stature going in the bathroom with your child, that's a predator. That's not a trans. That has nothing to do with their sexuality. It could be the same thing if it was the same sex of a person and they were still bigger than your child and scary and a predator, you would still get that outcome. But for the whole fear of, oh my God, I don't want this big burly, they think Arnold Schwarzenegger with the wig is just gonna be in every bathroom waiting to take their children. That's not the case. So I say, let them pee and get over yourself. First of all, nobody wanna take kids. Not your badass kids. You all right? Y'all be all right. So those are my pros and cons.
I think that we're good, honestly, to answer your question. I feel that in terms of rights, in terms of who you identify as, you can identify as a manatee for all I care. I have my own problems. Just don't splash me. That's the view. Use whatever bathroom you want to use. Just don't leave any piss on the seat. That's the only problem that I have. Seriously, if you want to identify as an ostrich, who am I to stop you? You think I have all the answers? Be who you want to be. Just be a good person. And who cares if what somebody wants to identify as? Does it have anything to do with you? No. And get off your fucking John Deere tractor trailer and focus on your own life. What do you think? This is a real life game of Farmville? Mind your business.